Where are my people? Well, Carl is live as we speak, by the way. He said he's going to start like 6:30, 7 o'clock double time, but that's like, well, let's see, 1:30 or so, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I'm like, I have to go live at 2:30. So here I am. So we're going to do this quick and easy. If you guys are here for the craft chat that I mentioned this morning, I was going to try to roll us into Carl's live, but instead I'm rolling out of Carl's live. So call me friend. I will see you anon. That means another time or later. Okay. Now, anybody out there who would like to learn a couple of crafts, something for fun, just because we can, you're more than welcome to come in. We're doing greenhouses and something else I had mentioned in my previous live chat yesterday from. And this is because I thought maybe some of you would be interested in seeing how hard a simple thing to make when you can afford to buy one, but you can make something similar and use it for your diamond art painting, give you an idea. Is it perfect? No, but will it work? Possibly. But it's up to you, and based on, your constructs and what materials you have available to yourself when you don't have to spend a dime. Me, myself, and I, we're not rich. We don't purport to be rich, but we do purport to know how to make things a little bit. Sorry for that. Again, I had something else in my teeth again. How to make easy stuff, craft stuff. If you want to garden on a small scale because you have your environment, you're in an apartment, you have some good windows for lights and whatever, or you might have a very minuscule patio, balcony, you might want to do some gardening there. So, depending on if you're into diamond art painting or growing something because, well, you like to grow things and it makes you feel happy. And even growing a simple little herb garden, everybody thinks, oh my God, that's so hard. We need all this stuff that costs a lot of money. No, you don't. Not if you're wise. Okay, so a couple of years ago, a friend of mine was getting rid of her aquarium, and I was lucky enough to get some of the gravel in the bottom of her aquarium, and I saved it. Yeah. So I saved it for a couple of years. I used some of it for another project, but I did save the most of the gravel at the bottom of her aquarium. Now let me see. Hear that sound? Yeah, it's in one of these. Is what little bit left I have of the gravel at the bottom of her aquarium. Not a lot, but just enough. So if I wanted to make myself my own miniature greenhouse effect, I'd be able to. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when you buy things that come in these clear plastic containers, they have cakes or pies, whatever, you can actually save these. Wash them up with some soap and water, preferably more water, hot water. And these make a perfect greenhouse because of the lighting you would get all over, okay? Now, for something like this, especially knowing which one is the top and which is the bottom, because sometimes the tops, and you don't know this, but until you open it, but sometimes the tops here would have slits in these areas so you get more air in between. You know, there on the sides right there. Okay? And this would be deemed the bottom. The one without anything fancy on the sides. Alright? So you could take some of your gravel, pour it in here. Let's say you got an old plant. Let's say you bought yourself some lilies or hydrangeas or something like that for Easter. So you threw away the plants that were in it, but you saved the dirt. So you take some dirt, you put it over this. But before you even bother with putting these in first, you need to have holes, drainage holes. And when it comes to certain plastics, you go to pop a hole in it and it shatters the whole thing. So you're gonna, you know, maybe heat up like a, the end of a nail. Nails are nice, you know, nails are nice size. You could hold it with, like a pair of pliers or something, heat it up, put some holes in it. Okay? Nothing major. Get a fork, heat up the end of the tines, put a hole in it. But you want to have drainage holes in the bottom for your water to go out. Now, if you're going to do that, and then you put your rocks in, your soil in, and your seeds, whatever, and then you gotta close it up, that's a miniature greenhouse right there. Now, if you're going to take your miniature greenhouse and put it in your windowsill or somewhere, make sure there is something underneath that will catch the excess water, so it doesn't go all over your windowsill and down the side, the wall. Because then you'd have a mess to have to clean up. And I don't wish that on anybody. So sometimes I would get a lid of another container that I had saved, and I would put it underneath, and it works. Hello, come on in. We're learning about doing miniature greenhouses out of recyclable things that you would have at home, because you cannot be Mr., you know, Moneybags, because you're like me. You're working stiff. You're doing the best you can with what little bit of money you got, and you make do. So a lot of us sometimes get these containers. Interesting. Especially when you live in an apartment and you like growing things like your own herbs for your food, or you like to have flowers. Just saying. But it's something to bring a little bit of that spring, summertime feeling in your home. Sometimes you'll get a cutting of another person's plant. You put it in water, and then it's going to get all these lovely little roots. And then you need to put that in some soil. So you want to try to have some of these miniature rocks you could get for aquariums. I got mine from a friend of mine that was getting rid of aquarium. This is not that chat. This is the crafters chat. So, this is not the time to talk about that. And I will write that down again. Let me get my little wee pen. See? Pen. Because I haven't got to do my homework on that yet. But I want to. Seriously, I do. 22, 13, through 21. So I will do research on that first. Give me a day or so, and let me do some homework on that. and pray on that and everything. And we could come to get back together again, like maybe tomorrow morning, and have, we could talk about it then. Okay? That's all I'm going to promise right now, so at least I'm willing to meet you halfway. Alright? And we got to have your name there too. So this way I know who asked me and I don't feel stupid, you know? It's like, oh yeah, I remember from yesterday. No, I like to, this always is one of my rules, especially like when you're teaching things or you're learning things, you want to know who's asking the question, and then we can come back together on this, okay? Now, I should be live, God willing, Creek Don't Rise, at 5:15 Eastern Standard Time, New York, okay? So I can make you that promise that I can do the research. Hey, Shaw Woman, how you doing? Well, I don't know yet. I'm going to pray about it first before I read it. And I don't want to be disillusioned about, oh, he's doing all these bad things. Well, wait a minute. I have to read the context. I will let you know that tomorrow. We're not having that discussion now, I told you. I said, let me do my research, and we'll get back with you tomorrow morning. Take it or leave it. It's your choice. That's all I'm offering. Okay? At least I'm willing to meet you halfway. So right now is the Crafters Chat, if you please. And I'm yet, like yesterday in the Crafters Chat I had, explaining why I had been MIA'd last week because I had been sick. And then in the healing process, my body makes me get extra sleep, even when I don't want to. They make you do it. It basically shuts me down, like I'm a computer. And yes, so yesterday, near the end of our craft chat, we had some people expressing they wanted some ideas and whatever. And I told them about the little miniature greenhouses we did at another place I was at, and that I would bring that for today, along with this other idea for people that do diamond art painting and you can't afford the light up table or whatever to put your paper for the design on the light up table. So I said I'll come up with something for that, and I did. So if we, you know what, another thing too is the serious, silly, dumbest things you get. Like you go to the store, you get yourself cheesecake or a pie or something in one of these clear containers. Well, if you wash it out really good with some soap and hot water, because you don't want to leave no soap residue in this if you're using it for a greenhouse. Then you got to get like a hot nail or something, get some ventilation holes for the water to be able to drip out. I was lucky enough, a friend of mine was getting rid of an aquarium a year or two ago. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Where you been hiding? I was wondering when you going to show up some of these days into my chat. I know, right? And Chris is another person in the YouTube sheets that I happen to know for quite a few years that does crochet and such. So Chris is a very lovely person, and that's what I think. Good. Hello, Miss Shatika. Hey. Y'all come on in now, because I did promise from yesterday's live to show you about the miniature greenhouses you could make on your own at home with some recycled things, and also to do something for your per se light up area table for when you're doing diamond art painting. Okay, so come on in, you guys. Don't be afraid to check each other out. This is what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other. So I got a couple of crafts for you. You guys can check each other out. Yes. Was it like a big, yes, acrylic ball, right. Mm-hmm. Yes. So see right there, your terrarium technically would be a greenhouse. But they needed a terrarium, which I thought was really sweet. But I'm just saying, like, for people that want to grow herbs, to have fresh herbs, and like dill or whatever, basil, you want to put in your, right. Got it? Shaw woman, don't knock yourself out there, girly girl. I thought for the longest time I had a black thumb. And here to find out, I didn't. So, it is what it is. Sage, right, there you go, see? Honey, I do know, trust me. 10, 15 years of thinking I had a black thumb, and here to find out what I was doing wrong. So if I can learn, you can learn. Okay? So I just wanted, so you know how sometimes you go to like a Walmart or Weiss's or a grocery store like Wegmans, whatever. You get these little containers that have deli meats in it, whatever. You have a label here usually on top. Well, I take the labels off. I clean them all out. Let them rest for a few days, making sure they don't smell of soap. Because that will help kill your plants, by the way. Soap, if it smells like, if you open this up right now, after washing and everything, and it smells like does it smell like plastic? Yeah, it's going to kill your plant. So, make sure it smells more like plastic than anything. You get these things, like if you get a cheesecake, pies, whatever, you can wash it out with some good hot water, just a dab of soap. Make sure it smells like plastic. Let it air out. The longer, the better, because then you want to get like get a fork, heat up the tines, and you want to put holes in here. Be careful, because sometimes, depending on the plastic, hey Lydia, is whether or not it's going to be good for growing a hamburger plant. You're real funny, Chris. Ha 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 ha. No, this is not growing for a hamburger plant. But this would be perfect, because here, this is the bottom. Using a heated fork tine, you can put some holes in there carefully. So you have irrigation holes, right? Hey, hi. Oh, come on in. Come on in, come on in. So then you pop this open, and be very careful before you put your holes in here. Because sometimes the top of these will have slits up here. And if you do it the wrong way, yeah, your water's going everywhere. You don't want that. Okay? But before you start using this for a greenhouse, make sure which is top and which is bottom. If you got to put a T with a marker here or something, put a sticker on it, whatever, do what you got to do. But get it washed out, especially with hot water. Smell it, make sure it smells like plastic or nothing. If you have some old aquarium rocks, from an old aquarium that somebody got rid of, you got some of the rocks, which is what's in here. I can put some rocks in there. I can take an old plant, like my old Easter lily I had for Easter. Get rid of the plant itself, but I still have good soil there. Break it up, make sure it's all nice and healthy and prepped. Put some in, right? Put some fingers, and then you can put your seeds in, close them up, water it. You don't want to water it where it's so, water it good, yes, but you don't want to drown it. And if you do drown it, those irrigation holes are going to come in handy, because then you notice that this doesn't have nothing for underneath it. If you put this, yes, clones, or yes, on a windowsill, and your water drips, it's going all over your windowsill and down your wall. So find something like, what do you call that? Find something like an old lid to something else or whatever, or even an old towel rag or whatever. Put down some, I put down some cling wrap, I put a towel down, paper towels, put this on top so if the water comes out, it's not going everywhere. Alright? Real simple. Real simple. These I like doing my herbs in. Okay? Just saying I do. Now, at places like Walmart, yes, and you can miss it. Exactly. Right, simple and cheap. So I do a lot of recycling and drives my roommate nuts, and I really don't care. But these things you get, 9 times out of 10, it'll have some kind of deli meat wrapped in plastic inside of this. Right? So you get it, wash it out, make sure it smells like plastic, and you have a lid. Now this one, these guys, because of the type of plastic it is, these actually do good if you take a thumbtack to putting holes in, okay? And then you do your rocks and your soil. Now, I will say this. When we made our little miniature greenhouses I was telling you all about yesterday when I was downtown, right, yeah, there you go. I'll take the lid off. And if you notice, there's the flat side here. That's the flat side, that's the bottom. But the top, there's like a ridge here that goes around. I like to flip it upside down like this because that ridge is where I'm going to put this on like this. So it's almost like sitting on top, but not like glued to the bottom or to the red lid. Okay? So then again, holes for, irrigation. Again, some rocks for irrigation, so your soil doesn't go all the way down. If you got a bits of cardboard, you can put some bits of cardboard in there because cardboard does help with your plants. Then you put your soil in there. The only difference with this guy compared to this guy is you're going to need popsicle sticks. One at each corner. If you don't have popsicle sticks, you can get those, like, chopsticks you get from a Chinese takeout or something. One for each corner. So you could put a piece of cling wrap on top. And there you go. Now you have a greenhouse. But you could do this with soda bottles. 2-liter bottles are the best. And if you're going to do it with the 2-liter soda bottle, get the generic soda. Don't do it with Pepsi or Coke. Skewers work too. Yes. Skewers work too because it helps. But you want to have it where this, if it had, that cling wrap over it, you want it above. You want to give it some room to grow. And put it out in a nice sunny spot. Because then when you do soak this with your seeds and your soil, even if you water it, like seriously soak it. Okay, not a big to-do because you're going to have your lid underneath. It will catch your water. Think about it. If you have to, you can always lift this up, put a couple of paper towels. You're good. Red cups work too. Yes, they do. So you have a variety. Yes, and yes, exactly. You can write down what is what in each corner. If you're doing like sage, basil, dill, you get the idea. So I recycle a lot of this stuff for arts and crafts stuff. Sometimes I use these for various things to hold my arts and crafts stuff into sometimes. Even one of these, Pringles. This has my rocks for my greenhouses. Hi, Zach. How you doing, bud? So that is a quick short. Now, if you're going to use a 2-liter bottle from a soda bottle, I know where you've been hiding. Don't look at me. I've been here. I've been sick last week, but I'm here now. But the thing is, when you use a 2-liter bottle, especially like Pepsi, Coke, those things in certain places like New York are recyclable. We get money back on them. That's why I said use a generic soda bottle, like from Fango or something, that you don't get money on. And this way, you're not cutting your nose to spite your face when it comes to having that 5 cents from the 2-liter bottle you're using. Okay? You could also turn some 2-liter bottles into bird feeders. It's not that hard. You can find if you look up birdhouses out of 2-liter bottles, they'll show you how to make them. We made them back in the day when we didn't have YouTube to do it on. We didn't have all that information at a touch of our fingers, okay? We came up with an idea and we figured it out. Real simple. Because, yep, there you go. It's just whatever you want to make. Like a lot of people will do, they're doing tomatoes now, and I know they've been doing strawberries and have them inverted, hanging plant like this, and your strawberries hang down from it. They do it with tomatoes now too, and I was like, whoa, what a trip. So see, you've got your variables to use. So don't limit yourself. 8 cartons are really, really good. I know, right? 8 cartons are really good to start seedlings in. 1, because it's in cardboard. 2, if it gets wet, it's not a big to-do. You can take the top of the, you open up the 8 carton, you cut off the top, you put it underneath. There you go. You can start seedlings in those. Okay? You have toilet paper rolls. Those things are great. I know people look at me like, what? So, okay, just say you had a toilet paper roll right here, a short one. One of them short ones like about that big. So, you're going to put in a piece of paper towel, right? Put some, but I like to fold my bottoms of my toilet paper rolls up. But if you don't do that, put paper towel in. Put some soil in. You can put some soil in there. You can put a couple seeds in there. You could put it in about 6 or 8 of the 8 of those buggers fit in one of these containers, and then you take your little seedlings once they start growing. You can plant them out in your garden. So see, there are different ways for different things, okay? So don't limit yourself. If you have a problem like you wanted to do something, you guys let me know. I will find a way to use that. Reuse it. I have all sorts of crazy ideas, and people are like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, yeah, you'd be surprised. But, like, toilet paper rolls are perfect for starting seedlings in. They really are, because they're round. Put a paper towel in there. Throw in some, pack it with about halfway full of soil. Yes, I do that with my 8 cartons too, yes. I put in, but it works. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to throw things away in the garbage. Now, remember yesterday I was talking to some of you about diamond art painting? It would be great if you had a light-up table. Excuse me. I've been burping all day. Yes, makes for stronger roots too. Well, here, I was talking about yesterday was about diamond art painting. Hey! Glad to see you, April. That's okay, darling. You've been busy. It's understandable. Last week I was sick. You're busy. It happens. We're here now. So I was talking about those light up tables. Those things are expensive when you ain't got the money. Okay? And you want to have a light up table for when you're doing diamond art painting. Because then you would take your design and you put it over the light up table, and as you can see with the receipt here, you can see where you would do whatever, okay? Right. Now you ready for this? So I found a piece of plastic by happen chance yesterday. And I thought, that should be big enough. And I had an old box. Right? Now check this out. Ready? Some tape. Is all you need. Oh, that's plastic right there. I can open this up here. Right? Put in a set of fairy lights. Close this back up. Put my little design over it. Hello? I have an instant light up table. You can make it out of a cereal box. Whatever you got. Okay? Because they already have structure. But remember, they're only as strong as how much pressure you put on them. Because if you put too much pressure, they crush, which you don't want. So take your time with it, okay? So see, now you got 2, 3 different things to do for fun. You know, you could do it all on a Saturday afternoon if you had all your supplies. You know, you don't need a lot of expensive stuff to make your own, what do you call that, herb garden in one of those plastic containers, like using toilet paper rolls with paper towels, soil, and use one of these to stack your rolls in. See? And if you have an old set of fairy lights that you're not using from Christmas, you know, because those things are usually really cheap at Christmas time at the Dollar Tree, by the way. But put in a fresh set of batteries, okay? Make your own little miniature light up table. Hello? You know? So don't keep yourself limited. A lot of people do that and they're like, oh, this is so hard. I'm like, no, it's not. So you see, this is me being a mom. Limited budget. I got kids, I got bills to pay, and I got 3 of them in Scouts. This is how we come up with some of our wacky-dacky ideas. Yes, I know it does happen, but really, they waited to the longest time to jack up their prices by a quarter, 50 cents, whatever, so it's still reasonable. It just depends on what you want to do. If you're like me, and you save, oh, what are you going to do with that? You should throw it away. I'm doing a craft with that. Leave it alone. Even one of these. You know these things? This is the bottom half of a container of tomatoes. And if you notice, I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about here. You see right here? These guys have holes already. You see them? You see that? Right in there. Okay? This would make a better top than a bottom for plants, okay? Because of those slits in the holes here. Alright? So be careful of that. So don't leave yourself in a closed one set, one way, no. Your mind has to be open. You have to be willing to, well, that don't work, but let's try this kind of a deal. Because you will be surprised at the stupidest little things you can recycle. that you make yourself some. I can't afford a dang light up table. Can you? I'm not JD Rockefeller, but I can sure recycle stuff. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. That's what we did back when I was a kid. You know, Mom would say, "Oh, you got the money for that?" No. And back then, you couldn't have a job unless it was babysitting, which I did at the age of 11. But still, you know what I'm saying? Really, what are you gonna do with those? A 10-pack of 6-quart. Oh, shoe size. Clear containers for lids with Walmart. Whoa. Well, some of us do and some of us didn't. But that's good of you to do that. That's a pretty good package set you got there, Shawn Woman. 10 packs of 6-quart? Ooh, girlfriend. I know what I'd be doing with those. You can use it for some of your craft stuff. You can use, 3 for crafts, 3 for gardening. I'm just saying. Don't limit yourself. You save your paper towel rolls. If you take a paper towel roll, and they're usually about this big, you cut up from the bottom about 1/4 of an inch. Cut it up. Fold it up. That's the base. You can get a bunch of different plants or seedlings started in one of them 6-quart thingamajiggers, whatever. Or you can use 20-ounce bottles to start seedlings in. It's just up to you on what you want to do. Oh, cardboard boxes are the best, man. What are you talking about? Cardboard boxes, depending on the size. If you're going to do like a raised garden bed, but you used a old galvanized steel type watering trough that you had from way back when, right? Yes, you could cut that up into strips or just lay it out flat in that. That's just like doing rocks. It helps you with your how much water goes through them to get out of it. So you have a watering system helping you set up. You have all sorts of stuff. Sorry, I keep burping, guys. It's just one of those things today. I just burp, 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 and I'm just, ugh. But see, you have cardboard boxes. It just depends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you can even go and put, if depending on the size, you can actually start a garden inside of a cardboard box. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could take cardboard, like this kind, shred it up into bits, put some water, put it in a blender. You know, sort of like making papyrus. You know, papyrus. Yeah. And you can make your own molds and stuff. Mm-hmm. So see, you got see, from one idea, you got how many coming out of it now? Don't limit yourself. And Shaw Woman, you know, when you soak them plants too much, yeah, give yourself about 2 or 3 weeks before you even think about watering. Yes, that's right. Perlite, that's right. So see, you got one idea, and look how many ideas that sprouted from it. Okay? See, you guys are not stupid. It just sometimes you got to look at something from a different angle. Oh, I know, right? That's what I used to do, and I found out what happened. So what I would do was, if I had accidentally overwatered a plant, I didn't water it for until the top of that. There you go. And you can find some of this stuff, the perlite, soil, for planting or whatever, over there at the Dollar Tree. Dollar General, too. But you can go, right, And you can buy some of this gardening stuff really cheap. You know, I still have bags of soil for planting. Yeah. So you have one minuscule. Okay, you live in an apartment. Okay? And because of the way it is and whatever, you only have one good window for light. Well, that's where you put your, you know, your minuscule planters. You know, grow your herbs. Grow what you want. You know, they start out small, but they're going to get bigger. They get bigger, you transport them into something bigger. You have different size containers you could take. It goes from an eggshell this big to a container, like, you know, those, they have them now, they're like, grab and go bowls of cereal, like for Fruit Loops, whatever. Well, you wash them out. You can use that to put your next plant in. You guys just see? Yes. There you go. Well, listen to Miss Shatika. She gets the cheapest soil fertilizer. Coffee grounds, banana peels, eggshells, all that comes into play. And even cardboard helps. So, see, you guys got this. You know, think of something you want to do. Okay? Oh, okay, no problem. But now you have something to start with. How you like them apples, huh? You save a box, and this is only a few inches bigger, wider than this, so I trimmed the excess off. I taped it. I taped the insides in if I got it done right. So all I need now is my fairy lights. My fairy lights, and I have an instant light up table for doing my diamond art painting stuff. So now you see you're not limiting yourselves. Your mind is a fascinating find. And if you was to say, okay, Tammy, this is what I got. I had a lady one time bring me a bag of different, like, lots of different things in it. And she's like, oh, this is all craft stuff, you can have it. I mean, there was beads, all, you know, little dits and dats, whatever, right? Welcome back, Zach. Here, she basically said I could take nothing and make it into something. I'm not the creator, that's for sure. I am not God. But depending on how your mindset is, you know, what you want to make, or something you need, or you want to make, like, gifts for Christmas. You know, depending on who you're giving it to. Are you making gifts for crafters? You're making gifts for gardeners? What are you doing? And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You have, what, 11 months to save up recyclable stuff? That's it. There you go, Zach. So see, you're not limiting yourselves anymore. And wouldn't it be fascinating? Like, okay, you ready for this one? Okay, here's a good one for you guys. Right? Get a rainbow color of permanent markers. You need a spray bottle. There you go. See? There you go. That's right. Lydia was making a sunflower keychain using a soda bottle lid. Very fascinating. I love that. Yeah, because sometimes you need that little kick back in. Hey, Niels, how you doing? All right. Now, everybody chill, relax, listen. Okay, I want you to think about this. This is perfect for Christmas. We got time for Christmas. Now, everybody could do this one. No excuse not to do this one. So if you got to get a notepad, go grab a notepad. All right? I'm going to give you a freebie that we did at Scouts one year. And it's something really, really inexpensive, okay? What? Aside from the socks, it costs you less than $10. Or $5 for that matter. But you want to get a rainbow color of permanent markers. So red to black. Red, orange, green, yellow, all them pretty colors. Right? Then, no, we're not doing sweaters. Just listen. You want a pair of white socks. Preferably a size like several of your friends could all fit the same size. Men's socks are actually the better ones because they're just a little bit bigger than lady socks. I'm just saying. And women, we can always scrunch them down and make them look girly when we want to, okay? Hey. So you have a spray bottle. You have a bottle of rubbing alcohol. You want to have some newspaper. Okay? All right. Now, take a pair of socks out. Okay, there you go. I like that idea, Lydia. But you take your clean white socks. I know they don't have to be washed yet because we'll get there. Color them. Like your little 5-year-old kid, a 4-year-old kid with the permanent markers, the different colors. From the neck down. You don't want to get the bottom of the foot yet. You want from the neck down to your ankle on them socks. So if you get a pair of Crews, or something, a pair of Crews would be perfect. Okay? Crew socks. So from the top of the band down to right above that ankle. Right? Color it with a permanent marker. Doesn't all have to be a slam dunk paint, whatever. Now, once you've done that, get all your socks done that way, your spray bottle has your rubbing alcohol in it. Okay? So now we're going to saturate the necks. Like from the top to that spot that you did all that permanent marker coloring in. Spray it. Saturate it. Yes, saturate. That's why it's on newspaper. Alright? Then you're going to notice something really strange happening. The colors will be running down into the bottom part of the sock. Tie-dye socks, people. So then, you find a place where you could, if you could hang them up with clothespins, even better. But you want to have them hanging, the socks hanging above newspaper. Because in this way, it don't stain everywhere, just the newspaper. And you let them go for overnight. Right? Next day, rinse them out with a little bit of cold water. You don't want hot, you want cold water. Wring them out really good. Get all 6 pairs done, right? Throw it in the dryer. With one of those bounce sheets, trust me, you don't want to smell stinky. But throw those 6 pairs of socks that you tie-dyed and everything with the rubbing alcohol, and you rinse them out in cold water. Now they're in the dryer. The dryer sets the colors. Now you have tie-dye socks. They go with everything. I'm just saying, y'all. You can do it with a t-shirt, too. Yeah? Thank you. So, now, like I said, there's ways to do different things, babies. It's simple. Honey, I could do a lot of things making money. But I thought, y'all, if you're going to have a Christmas project to do, this is the most easiest project to do for people. If you get the nice fluffy socks, you'd have to turn them inside out for doing the tie-dye effect, okay? But it works. Get a pair, just get white pairs of those fluffy socks. Just saying. You could have them hanging over a trash can, right? Thank you, Lydia. And see, there you go. Now you got some easy, quick fix ideas. Then once you get your tie-dye socks done and you pair them up, get yourself, go buy everybody a cup, like a coffee mug. Put some chocolate Hershey Kisses you can get really cheap up there at the Dollar Tree in the bottom. Put a pair of tie-dye socks with the colors sticking out in the top. Instant, quick fix, Christmas present. And it costs you, other than the socks being the most expensive thing, just saying, Dollar Tree. Yes, okay, now you get the idea. Yep, that too. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So now you guys can have fun. Now, I gave you what, 3 different ideas? All in the middle, a matter of time of what? Okay, peeps, let's get those thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate if you get your thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe, and we can come back again tomorrow with some new ideas. Okay? But now you have 3 different ideas of making your own miniature greenhouse, making your own light-up box for your diamond art painting. Okay? And now you have a Christmas present to do. So if each mug was $1.50, 3, 6, 9, that's $10 there. Okay? Not including the socks, you could get those buggers at Walmart, whatever you want to, or you can get them cheap over there at the Dollar Tree. Okay, the tie-dye, the markers that are permanent, read through all the different colors of the rainbow. About maybe $4 or $5. Bottle rubbing alcohol spray bottle. That's it, guys. It's less than $20. It just depends. It's up to you and what you want to do. Now you have ideas to go ahead. Well, okay. But what you can do is every month, if you're like me, you live on a tight budget. Okay? So just saying next month, May, I'll buy 6 cups. June, I'll get 6 pairs of socks. July, I'll get the markers. You see what I'm saying? Cut your costs down by what you can afford every month. If your most amount you can spend is $10, break it down before the holidays. When I say I know ideas, I know ideas. I used to do this with Scouts, guys. Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, take your pick. Ooh. There you go. I used to have a coin that had the Third Reich on it and gave it to my mother. Don't know what happened to it, but I gave it to her and she passed away, so I never know what happened to that coin. Yes. But see, you have all your stuff. Right now, you want to get ready for Christmas. Christmas presents. Okay, right up to December, you got January, February, March, April to get ready for the planting season. You know, save your stuff, wash it up, stack it up, get it out of your way, your egg cartons, all that. Get your supplies and recycle. You guys can do this. It's okay, Niels. It's okay. Right. And see, you can have a lot of fun. Make it even, like I said, taking cardboard, you shred it up into bits, newspaper, preferably cardboard, all one color. And you can make papyrus, and they could take that and they can mold it over something like this, and they have a new design, and they could paint it, and there you go. A little planner. And then, you get the idea, people. It doesn't take a lot. Just a little bit of imagination, love, and that's all it takes. See? Not that hard, is it? Well, that's good. That's good. So the thing is now, you see how we think about things, especially as creative types. Just telling you, you're most welcome. Do enjoy. And if you go, oh, where'd you come up with it? Oh, a friend of mine told me. That's all you gotta say. Do not mention my name if you make those tie-dye socks and use those, especially imagine having a pair of nice warm socks that are tie-dyed like crazy with a cup of tea for the wintertime when you're reading a book. Nice and cozy, huh? See? Now you got, see? Ah, okay. There you go. Crochet hooks, holders, pins, there you go. Don't let your mind be in a box. Open the box. Better yet, just blow it up. Why? Because the box can hold things, but you want to see what you got. See? See? Now you know. Yes, exactly. And now, and if a person does crafts, oh my God. I will tell you the number one thing you could do for a crafter is simply put, get them if you want it personalized, that'd be a different story. But if you got them a $10 or $20 gift card, at their favorite local, hey, Starlight, Starbright, come on in, at their local craft store, then they could buy what they need if they're missing things, or they could buy. This is nothing about enemies in here, Caleb. You got banned this morning. You want to get banned again? This is a craft chat. I already had one person come in here and try to reshape my chat. And we both came to a mutual understanding. Craft chats in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. The morning Bible devotionals are in the morning. And me and this person, I did already promise them that I would do research on what they were saying to me earlier. Before you, well, now you got, oh, Starlight, Starbright, I was showing everybody how to make miniature indoor greenhouses using things like this, like from a cake or a pie, or this. And I had some rocks. A friend of mine got rid of an aquarium. So that helps. Hi, Regina. Glad of you guys to come on in. So here's my rocks to help with my irrigation for my homemade greenhouse. You got to have soil. You need popsicle sticks if you use one of these, because after you put your holes in here for your irrigation, you're going to take the lid like this. Why? So your water, when it comes out, doesn't irrigate your whole countertop, your windowsill, and your wall. So you put your rocks in, your soil in, and these buggers, you're going to need popsicle sticks. Heck, you can even use a spoon. Just saying. Plastic spoon, whatever you got. Bamboo sticks or chopsticks from the local Chinese place, they work. Okay, Shaw Woman, thank you for coming, dear. Thank you so much. So you see, guys, if you didn't get to see everything I mentioned, you might have to watch the replay. But I gave 3 positive crafts, one for Christmas, one for making miniature greenhouses, one for making a light up box for those who do diamond art painting. So you can imagine this is my receipt, right? With the light coming up from behind it, as you can see. Here's my box. There's clear. I put this here. This is like my diamond art painting. In here, I put my fairy lights, and it'll light up my design. See? Any questions? I hope this gives you guys something fun to do and plan out for yourself. Plan out with your children, nieces and nephews, grandchildren. They all love to get dirty. So making miniature greenhouses or whatever, that would work. You could do all sorts of, you could start out with the egg cartons. That would work. You guys, don't let your minds be boxed in. Open it up. So did you like it, Miss Shatika? And if you did, you could share me out. Anybody, especially those moms looking for ideas for the kids for, summertime? Let me know, because I used to do scouts. I did boys, girls, and cubs. You need something fun to do that's maybe a little messy. Yeah, see, that's the whole point, to get you started. Now, that's why you needed a notepad and a pen. Now your mind's buzzing like busy bees, and you're ready to go write it all down. And now you have something to look forward to. So let's spring into summer with some crafty ideas, okay? Yeah. You all are most... Oh, I know, right? Exactly. And the best thing to do when you got kids that want to get messy with dirt and whatever, put them in their bathing suits. If you're indoors, you could bring an indoor pool and leave it there by the bathroom door or whatever. They're going to make a mess, so you might as well do the dang indoor pool thing, and then you can rinse them off and have a towel or two nearby and dry, I'm just saying. That too, there you go, see? So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this time. Now, I don't know what I'm going to plan for tomorrow. But if you want to learn or you want to talk about something easy peasy, let me know. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this hour with me today. Thank you for coming so much. I don't know what I might pull out of my hat tomorrow. But if you have any ideas, from now on, I'm going to put your ideas on pieces of paper. I'll put it in here, and it'll be like a mystery of what we're doing, if you want. Okay? You're welcome. Have a blessed day, you guys. I'm going to let you go into the YouTube streets. Go have fun. Now you got things to do. You have ideas abounding. Write them down on paper before you forget, like I do sometimes. Yes. Well, like this one lady was running out of ideas, and she's like, where do you come up with these ideas? I don't know. Used to be a scout leader. One time we had a leader who needed ideas for Christmas, and they said, what do we do? What do we do? And they said, call Temi. So they did. Called me. His name was John. All right, John, let me get back to you. 5 minutes later, called him back, gave him my idea. He loved it, and that's what we did for that year. So, let's have some fun. And be creative. Get messy. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Go find somebody else on the YouTube streets that might be doing a live, like Carl still might be doing his live. Go support them in their lives. You know, put your thumbs up, share them out, whatever. Let's get this ball on the road where we're all sharing and blessing each other this way. Okay? Okay, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Go crafting.